I never had too many excuses that I had to do all at once. Usually for like homework and stuff, but never something as bad as like you left someone at the altar with everybody there.
Uh, it happens, but hey,
It happens. It
it happens.
happens. Locust, earthquake, and a flood. Good Lord.
Mm.
This nigga had the plagues of Egypt on his ass.
Oh man, I've had a few too. One time I was at the mall and I even crashed into a bunch of places. I didn't know what I was gonna do, but then I realized it's all worth it.
It's all worth it, especially when you're on a mission from God. Let's
Oh,
start the pod.
So what? What if the show gets canceled and you guys never get to do movies or anything like that?
Yes, bitch! There she is!
They should let children out of school to see this movie. They should show it in school.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I disagree.
I am Iron Man.
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
You're gonna have to rock a thong with this. Oh, no, I don't wear thongs. I have a very fussy taint.
Oh, behave.
That's right, baby. We are on a mission from God, hopefully in a year from God, recording this New Year's Day 2026. Welcome to another episode of Not Ready for Popcorn Players podcast. I am Johnny Watson.
and I'm your dopest host of all time, Victor Higgins.
Well, okay, wait a minute. And today we are reviewing one of the great SNL movies, SNL cast member led movies that I've ever seen. I mean, this was insane. I hadn't seen it in a few years. I don't think I'd seen it in the 2020s at all. Of course, we're talking about the Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi or Jim Belushi?
John.
John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd film, Blues Brothers from
A billion other
1980. Oh, plenty of other. I mean, this, when you think about it, this is my mom's favorite movie.
Oh,
And
nice.
I completely understand why when I look back at it. This has four of the greatest black musicians of all time.
Yeah, it's a ton of jazz legends, and we're gonna get into them. But
Extreme
some
legends.
people-
Like, my God.
yeah, even some people that even though a little spoiler going into this, but I have seen this movie before. But even like rewatching this, like I like was surprised to see a few names or see a few names like we'll get into them, but yeah, just so many people in here that some people I forgot was even in here. It's incredible to see.
Yeah, it is. It is just, my goodness, mind blowing.
So, while Johnny is looking, I guess I'll just tell you like a little bit about this movie. First, I want to talk about our two leads, our only two SNL leads, I believe, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Unless you can correct me, I guess there has been like a few people that we're getting into that have like either been musical guests or have hosted. But in terms of cast members, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, two of the original cast members from the first four seasons, both of them of SNL. Very iconic cast members. Dan Aykroyd was always that like utility guy in the roles because we always talk about utility guys like Phil Hartman, Bill Hader, Jason Sudeikis, and currently James Austin Johnson. But Dan Aykroyd was the first, and he did a great job. And John Belushi, if you don't know him, do your research because
John Belushi was much more of the like explosive, I'm gonna be the crazy one guy.
And inspired the very own Chris Farley. And it's a very cool thing.
Inspired dozens more of cast members, I would say.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But he was like a Farley. He's probably a lot of idols, but Farley especially. And you could definitely tell based off like watching stuff John did and what stuff Farley did, and again, he like really, really loved the guy. And who could blame him? He's awesome. And rest in peace to both of them.
Wait, no, Dan Aykroyd's still alive, dude.
Oh no, I'm saying rest in peace to both Belushi and Farley.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, sorry.
All good.
Yeah, let's not. Okay. What I was gonna say is there are two people from Star Wars in this movie. Do you know who they are?
Well, Carrie Fisher.
That's right.
Ooh, and I am not the biggest Star Wars watcher, so I'm gonna just take a wild swing and say John Candy.
John Candy? No, not at all.
Uh
The corrections officer was Frank Oz, who plays Yoda.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
pretty,
Wow.
pretty
Yeah.
insane, right?
Yeah, very insane. Wow.
Yeah, he also played like so many Muppets. Like he was like an
Yeah.
all-time puppeteer voice person.
Yeah, and
Um,
every time I see him, it's he kind of looks like someone else because I kind of made the comparison that he kind of looks like a mix of both Michael O'Donoghue and David Cross, like a little mix of both of them. And it's a weird comparison, I know.
that is wow.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with all three of them are both almost bald white dudes with glasses. It has nothing to do with that. Just actually, I never do that. Let me be
It
real.
kind of does, but it don't. Yeah, I see what you're trying to say.
But yeah, and also the Blues Brothers, inspired by an SNL sketch or a few sketches that appeared. It didn't
Yeah, a
appear as much
recurring
as
sketch, I believe, right?
yeah, and it didn't appear as much as you would probably think it did. I believe they only did like a handful of times. Believe they did like early season one, and then around like season 3 and 4, they did it a few more times, and obviously they wouldn't do it again because that would be both Dan and John's last season on the show. And
Hmm.
they have brought it back, I believe, like one time when Aykroyd did a cameo in a season 23 episode. I believe it was Goodman, and in promotion of the infamous revival, Blue Brothers 2000. They had that in there, and I believe Dan did a version of it with Jim Belushi when he hosted the season 28 finale.
Oh,
With
really?
yeah, with and he did it with a musical guest, the one and only Beyonce, which is a very interesting lineup there. There's something that if that happened now, everyone would be curious, like, oh, Dan Aykroyd and Beyonce. Gotta see how this turns out.
Beyonce kind of has some pretty good ties to that kind of stuff because Beyonce is also in an Austin Powers movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mhm.
Yeah. She's got a pretty good track record with that. Okay, so let's get to the plot of the whole thing. The film opens with several aerial shots of factories, oil refineries, just a lot of Chicago suburb stuff, which being the Midwest, as I was just thinking about this a little before I watched the movie, Illinois isn't like that flashy without Chicago. And this shows you that like immediately. It's just showing a bunch of oil refineries, factories, just stuff that's leading to the prison. And it's like, like remember, this was the place that built all the cars. They just look like really industrial spots, right?
Yeah, and it definitely like shows you like what type of movie this will be, showing the different shots of Illinois, and I
Yes.
really like all the ways they showed it. They like I believe at one point they like show like a daytime version of it, and then going back to night, and
Right.
it kind of showed a certain element that I can't like fully explain, but I did really like about it, and it set the right tone for the movie, which I thought was a very nice key aspect of it.
I think it set a tone that usually when you get a movie set in Chicago, it's like in Chicago. This was all
Right.
over the place. Like this was
Yeah.
like a full tribute to Illinois. This was not like a John Hughes movie. This was like you're going to get the countryside, you're going to get the plains, you're going to get the rustic part, you're going to get the city, you're going to get north and south and everything. It's like, and they were shouting out like other cities too.
Yeah, and it's really good because again, Chicago is really the only I feel well known place in Illinois because I feel like if you
Yeah.
like go up to a random person on the street and say, "Give me a state from Chicago" or a state from Chicago
A city from Illinois. Yeah,
or for Illinois, yeah, they're gonna say Chicago, not gonna say any other place. Even
exactly.
though us SNL fans will say Peoria because that's the place of Wayne's World.
Of course. And Joliet, with Joliet Jake. Anyways, we next see a prisoner being roused and escorted by two guards to the Joliet prison in Illinois. Is he on his way to the gallows? No, he's up for standard parole. His personal items are returned to him, including a broken watch. And this was one of the things that got me. I took a lot of notes for this, but not just one prophylactic, like a regular one,
Mhm.
a used condom as well.
Yeah. And also, we should note that this is where Frank Oz appeared, and I feel he did, for me at least, surprisingly really well in this. He played this like so straight. And those are always kind of my favorite moments in comedy, where like you could be so serious and discussing something so silly, and he did exactly that, and I really appreciated it. And I also really like since they were having Belushi basically just kind of like not like have him over a line and have him not go anywhere further from the line where he had to sign. He just kind of like leaned against it and had to write what was it, like some sort of like thing to get him officially out of there or
Mhm.
be over.
Yeah, I think so. I also like. I think it was crazy that that he had the used condom, but
Yeah,
also the part where he. Did you notice this? He does not step over the line to sign it. He leans.
yeah. That's what I was trying to say earlier. He just
Oh,
leans over it, and
yeah,
it's
he's basically just such a character. I don't think he'd even said a line before this. He's already
yeah,
established himself as
he
a
was
little out there.
dead silent until Elwood showed, and that's like. Also, I don't know if this was supposed to be funny or not, but I did get a kick out of seeing how pretty much all the other cellmates when they're walking him to the place were all shirtless, and I don't know why that
I
really
think I
amused.
noticed that. Okay,
I don't know why that amused me, but that I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Uh,
interesting. I don't think I had noticed that.
yeah.
Okay, like I was saying, the prisoner is released. It's Jake, Joliet Jake, John Belushi, played by John Belushi. He is shown to be in a used Plymouth police car after
Mhm.
having traded their old Cadillac for one microphone. I mean, I know you're a struggling artist, but one micro, well, oh man, I'm thinking of a really dark movie because I remember people aren't gonna like this, but I remember that scene in Hustle and
Yeah.
Flow when that girl got pimped out for one microphone.
Mm,
Oh my God.
I need to see that because I have not seen
Oh,
like a movie.
it's a very different movie from this, so I think we should move
Yeah.
on.
But one thing I will say is that even though the scene where they're like talking to each other itself wasn't great, I did like how it established the two of them. Like this is how Elwood acts and this is how Jake acts, and these are their dynamics with each other, and I don't think I ever changed that at all throughout the entire movie.
No,
And
it's very Elwood is like the straight man, like a regular guy, and Jake is he's trying to be a regular guy, but he never can. Yeah, they keep going with they demonstrate the power of the car with its cop tires and cop suspension and its power plant, and Elway convinces them that it's the new Bluesmobile. Now, I did notice something that they said immediately, but I thought about it too. I had seen something else. No, I was watching Power Book 4, where you got to keep in mind that he's on parole this whole time, which
right,
the things you get if someone had someone out the way Elwood had Jake, his first night of parole, this is insane stuff that he's doing. Like he's got him like he's got him doing like the most crazy things to be out on parole. Even if you weren't on parole, this is like, yeah, he's got him driving the cop car, he's got him doing all sorts of stuff. We'll get into it. We'll get into it though. Anyways, they
yeah,
go to see the penguin,
yeah.
Sister Mary Stigmata. I think I just found out that that's what the character's name was, played by Kathleen Freeman, the head of the nuns at the Catholic orphanage that they grew up to in downtown Chicago. She explains that they need $5,000 to pay property taxes, or else the orphanage will be closed by the local archbishop. Aghast at Jake and Elwood's casual swearing, she she smacks them around really bad. Like, this must have been the 80s because I don't know if this would be allowed now, especially to orphans. She
Yeah,
beats them with a yardstick and throws them out of the office, saying she'll pray for their foul souls and not to return until they've redeemed themselves.
yeah, and this scene is so funny because like everything else before this scene I thought was like more amusing, but this is the scene I really started to actually laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Just because all the other like they were saying every curse word known to man, which eventually had them.
Oh yeah. And then she said, "Will you repeat yourself? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." And then he said it with the curse word again, and she smacked him again.
Right, and one aspect of it that I liked was before they really started talking with her, she wanted them to sit in the desk, and
Oh my
he
god.
was like struggling in the desk, like
Oh yeah, when they walked up in the
yeah, and yeah, I like how they're like trying to escape, and he can't get out of the desk, and she's still beating the absolute crap out of him, which eventually leads to Belushi falling and breaking the desk.
oh my, he showed that he fell down the stairs. There was a lot of physical.
Oh yeah, he fell
Another
down. Yeah,
thing
that's right.
about this movie that I like, this is real. Like this is really real. There ain't no CGI. They probably use stuntmen, but this is like really real. Someone really fell down in that thing. Someone really had to film this on camera, like on film like that. One thing I also wanted to note, did you notice how she doesn't like back up into the room? She floats back into the room like a mystical figure.
I did not notice that. Like,
She
really
floats back in. It's like, what? It's like, is this a nun or a witch? I'm like, what the hell?
Oh wow,
We're going to a different type of Catholic school.
yeah. Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Jake and Elwood then meet up with their old father figure, Curtis, aka played by Cab Calloway, a handyman who operates the orphanage and advises them to get yourself to church. They go, oh man, they go to the Baptist church where Reverend Cleophas James, aka James Brown, delivers an uplifting sermon, and that's an understatement. Jake sees the light now and realizes that he must put the Blues Brothers band back together in order to raise the $5,000. Now they are on a mission from God. Speaking of which, I wanted to say one thing. The $5,000 they need, how much do you think that is in today's time?
Ooh,
This was in 1980.
I'll say 35,000.
Ooh, you went a little high. You went a little high.
Ooh.
It's about $22,096.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This scene I thought was very fun, and like this was the first. Like anytime I took a note and saw like a big name, I always put them in all caps, and this was my first all caps saying like, "Oh my God, it's James Brown!" And and I always like knew he was in this movie, and like I said before, I watched this movie again before, and just this scene really I think shows like what this movie is. It's like what you are going to get from this movie. You're going to get a bunch of celebrity after celebrity after celebrity singing these absolute banger hits, and them eventually joining in too, which I love too. And it is always interesting because I don't watch a whole lot of musical movies, at least ones that aren't like for like kids, and even for the kids, I always notice like they always just kind of casually go into a song and then casually just go out of it, which just like kind of given the vibe, it seems kind of like weird, but I sort of understand it. But yeah, like this scene I thought was very fun, and Belushi eventually coming in, I was very great, especially him in the blue light, like you were saying, just saying like, I see it, and him just dancing absolutely. And my favorite part of this was seeing some other people do overly very high flips, just like at the point where they're almost at the roof of the church. That's my favorite part of this.
Shout out to those stunt people because those flips were the freaking circus shit. Oh my goodness. What was I saying? By the way, I meant to say earlier when he signed on the prison thing, he only put an X, so he may not know how to read and write and stuff. And I'm sure you've seen this before. You've been in a black church have you seen it where they like catch the spirit?
Yes, obviously not as hard as they go, but like I have seen like usually the older women kind of
Yes.
like
That's
like
what I thought was
bang,
happening to Jake and
almost
Elwood.
bang, but like kind of stomping on their feet, just like saying like yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord.
Hmm.
And for me at least, I don't know if same case for you, but usually there's only like one or two people that do it because every time I see a movie, it seems like every or at least most of the older uh people attending are always like on their feet, like just like praising. But it's usually always like one or two for me, and so I
Man,
guess you don't fully have it in them.
man, back when I was in Alabama, I think I'd see it like maybe every other Sunday because we would have these like long, long 3 hour church sessions, and if you would definitely see it for sure. So it makes sense that they would. I guess they caught the spirit as well. The two of them. It was all over the place. And yeah, again,
Yeah,
shout
it
out to
made
James
me,
for singing that thing too. He was
mm,
all the musical performances. They crushed.
and this
Like
might
they
be
went hard on them things.
this might be a question that maybe we could find out one day if we wanted to ever cover the sequel. But I do kind of wonder, like how did they really get in touch? Because I do know like Ray Charles hosted the show when Belushi and John were in the cast, but like how were they able to get like James Brown and Aretha Franklin and all these other amazing people that came on? Like especially as like John and Dan are like early, like late 20-year-olds just on SNL, like at the time on SNL, like how are these like random dudes, random white dudes are gonna get these big stars on this movie that end up becoming hit, but they didn't know that at the time, so yeah, you kind of want to,
I feel like the studio must have made it happen.
yeah.
Right.
There's probably some sort of interview out there or someone explaining it because you know there's like various books about both Belushi and the movie, so it's probably out there. And of course, maybe James and Aretha and other people that we'll get into have talked about it. But yeah, it's very interesting because again, like these people that aren't that well known, I would think at this point
I mean,
back
they
in
were kind of famous, but
yeah,
they weren't like famous enough for everyone to
I would
know. But we
I feel
definitely
like this
got some things
movie
happening.
made at least maybe Belushi famous. I mean, I guess you could probably say that for Dan, but probably not yet. But I would say
Right.
for Belushi, yeah, yeah.
I don't think they were falling over
Oh,
their heels to work with them, but
yeah.
I think a lot of that to get them was the studios. I think the studios just were like, we're making a huge movie. We want to get some hard hitters, and that's why they said.
And actually think
But
about it,
even
Dan.
hard hitters is saying a lot because at this point in time, James Brown was like
Big.
like literally only two or three people were on his level at that time. So it's like, wow.
Yeah, and
I don't
thinking about
know.
it, I believe Animal House, that the movie John Belushi did, was I guess pretty popular, and I believe this came out a year or two before, so maybe that's how. Because I guess that it was popular enough that someone saw, oh hey yo, or John Belushi's part of Animal House, right? And like, sure, so
That might have been it. That makes sense. That kind of makes a little bit of sense. And then that's why they say now they're on a mission from God. Even though they had already had a nun. Well, actually, the nun didn't tell them to do this. Only this was the thing that told them to do this. So that makes sense. Anyways, that evening during a drive about, they reminisce about how to get their old band back together. Elwood runs a red light and the Bluesmobile gets pulled over by a state trooper. The two state troopers, Daniel, played by Armand Sarimi, and Mount, played by Stephen Williams, ask for Elwood's driver's license and registration. Through SCMODS, the state county municipal offender database system, the officer learns that Elwood has numerous outstanding tickets and traffic violations. The police intend to impound the car, but Jake takes off, leading to an immediate car chase. And for me, I'm just like, what is this technology that they have a computer in the car in a movie that's supposed to be set in 1980?
Yeah, I think
This must have been cutting edge technology.
yeah, yeah, and this is easily my favorite part of the movie, and probably
We're not at that part yet. We're not at the chase part yet. We're just at the right before. Yeah.
But yeah, even before the famous scene that we're soon going to talk about, it's a nice performance from the two people playing the cops, and
Mhm.
and we're going to get into it. But like when they do end up trying to pull a fast one and sneaking off. They always so casual on it. It's like kept basically just saying, "So yeah, how's your day going? Oh, it was great." And they just like absolute nothing. And there's different scenes of the movie that I really do admire.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Anyways, yeah, but that feels like big technology for 1980. Anyways, another state trooper car driven by Trooper LaFong, which AKA was the director, John Landis, surprisingly, and a charming trooper, Stephen Bishop, join on the chase. The Blues Brothers get away, destroying a shopping mall in the process of driving through it. But now the Illinois authorities are searching for them. Both troopers, Daniel and Mao, vow to catch or kill the Blues Brothers. And where do we even begin with this part?
Yeah.
First of all, extremely out of pocket to have him like this on his first night of parole.
Right. That's what I didn't even think about. And
I haven't been out 12 hours. And we're driving through the mall, destroying every store. Like everything.
like every single thing, and like every time they crash into something, and what I was talking about earlier of how they're just so casual about it, and them talking like crashing into something like, oh hey wow they're on sale or like something like that. If that was just very funny, and because they could have not even said anything at all, but the fact that, and it's not even a smart comment at all. They're just again just like so reluctant about it. It's just like so. I love it so much, and again, it's my favorite part of the movie, and probably the most. And maybe you can correct me on this, but probably the most famous non-song moment of this movie, I would think.
Depends, because I don't know. Some people might think the ending car chase is also a very famous moment. Yeah, I mean, my goodness, they go through everything. I did say, I think Pier 1 went out of business since then. I think. I'm not sure.
And I probably did some research, but I believe there's an interesting story about this that I think like they were like originally like against this, and they ended up doing it, and obviously it cost them a lot of money.
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna get into that later, but yeah, I was right. Pier 1, I think they no longer have like brick and mortar stores anymore. They closed all of them. It's only online now. So it's not dead, but you can't physically find it. You can only get it shipped to your house. So I thought it was dead. I thought it was gone. I thought the whole thing went out of business, but
Real quick, I did like how at one point one of the cops' cars is upside down, and it's like
still moving so fast.
Still
it's
moving.
like sliding upside down on the mall floor. Like,
and I love how at the end all they have to say is like, "Hey, you broke my watch." Like just my watch, not anything with the store, just my watch.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they broke everything. They'd have to demolish this. I'm not even sure what the city can do with that mall anymore. Anyways, Jake and Elwood park their car in a rundown part. They basically park it in this really thin alley in a rundown part of the loop of downtown Chicago, where they walk to a Fleabag motel where Elwood is living. A mystery woman, Carrie Fisher. I just found out when I watched it that her name is only the mystery woman. I thought we had a name for her this whole time. No. Played by Carrie Fisher. Attempts to kill Jake by firing a rocket launcher, but the Blues Brothers duck and the rocket misses. The woman drives away in a red Cadillac. Unfazed, Jake and Elwood enter the hotel, populated by several unhoused transients. Elwood asked the manager, Floyd, if there were any phone calls. The manager says no, but a man named Burton Mercer, played by John Candy, a local corrections parole officer, visited looking for Elwood. Looking for Elwood? I thought he was looking for Jake because, okay. Jake and Elwood then go to Elwood's small room that sits near the local L train where Jake falls asleep in Elwood's bed.
Yeah, and
Dude,
there's a lot to this scene, but real
there
quickly,
is, because
yeah.
Elwood's down bad.
yeah, but for like Carrie's character, first of all, her name only being Mysterious Woman and not anything else
Yeah,
makes perfect sense. And
yeah.
I did not take note of this, so hopefully you did.
Mhm.
Was there a reason, or was she like part of like a group of like why she was trying to kill them, or
Yeah, it says it at the end. She left.
Oh.
Jake left her at the altar
oh,
where she did not. She held out for him. She didn't have sex with anyone for like so long, and her dad had to call in a mafia favor, and she brought 300 guests, and he just left her at the altar, which, as we find out, would be something that Jake would definitely have done. So yeah,
yeah,
it's like, ooh. So she is like, and we'll get to the excuses scene later, but
yeah. I should take to know that. Yeah, just a lot to this scene, absolutely a lot. And I like what really stuck out to me was how I feel like that's probably a very Chicago thing, and just kind of how like the train or them they're in an apartment and the train is very close by, and even ask like, how long does this train last? Enough for you to get used to it. So
I think there are some people that do got to live like that.
yeah, and I'll probably guess the same for maybe New York too, or at least like maybe not for trains, but maybe like just something like police cars, taxis that you always hear in fire trucks.
I will
guess
say,
that New York.
when at like my main improv theater, um, formerly the Village, currently Limelight in Atlanta, it's like it's like very, very close to MLK Station. And the train would go by all the time, but it wouldn't bother us at all because, well, at first, in part because we were doing improv very loudly, but also because it was just, you would just get used to it. It's just not, it doesn't even matter. Even though you can't hear it outside, it's like, it doesn't even phase you at all, even though it's coming by all the time.
You're just so used to it.
You're just so used to it. You're just so used to it. It doesn't even matter. Like by the third one, it's like, it's background noise. I don't know if it works the same for living in a place like that, but I would imagine it does. But also, that's the least of his problems. Like he is down bad. It's so, it's
Horrible.
like as thin as the table that I'm sitting at, this room. Like it is, he can't even walk by for real. And his bed is dirty. What does he have as a meal? He has like,
I think it's just. I think it's just some sort. I think it's just a chicken over some sort of like.
I think he just has a bread. He has like one
or a
piece of
bread.
bread.
Yeah. It's a bread. Yeah,
And
one
he's
piece of
like,
bread.
he has one piece of bread. I don't even
Want
remember
dinner?
if he puts
Want
anything
shake
on
up
it.
the bread?
He's able to give him a beer, but other than that, it's
Yeah.
like
Special
there.
food, the bread.
And then he has to store all his stuff in there. It's like, oof. I mean, if you're living like this, you got bigger problems to, yeah. So then after that, the next morning, the mystery woman arrives at the Fleabag Hotel just as troopers Daniel and Mount show up, along with Burton Mercer, who IDs the correct home of the address of Elwood. The unknown woman then blows up the whole hotel with a bomb. But Jake and Elwood walk away from the rubble, as do the police who were going to apprehend them.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm
the first
talking
thing I
about.
put, she definitely killed somebody with this.
Oh, definitely.
Easily.
Probably so many people except Elwood and Jake.
Yeah, this is like a mass murder for sure.
Yeah, and this is another thing where I was talking about earlier of how any horrifying scenario for them, they're just so casually they just go about their day like as if like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's bad. And I was like, she should have run down the block with a bazooka. But then I see this and I'm like, oh, she pretty much brought down the block. Like this is like a 3-story building that just crumbles to the ground. Yeah,
Yeah,
a complete mess.
It's so much that it's one of those. It's one of the scenes in the movies that you really just have to see to believe.
Oh yeah. I mean, and when you see it, you're just like, th- this would be such a, if in a different movie, this is a terrorist attack, basically. And so now we move on to the next scene where Jake and Elwood are trying to find their old band members who have since taken other jobs, like many other jobs. They visit a boarding house where one of the members had previously lived. The landlady doesn't remember where he went, but at the last minute, she finds a business card with Murph and the magic tones on it. I don't think too
Yeah,
much to say about this scene. What do you think?
yeah. I did kind of like how, yeah, I was like Kim Wheeler in, and she said please. I don't know why that really sent out to me, but yeah, not a whole lot I have to say about this.
Yeah, not so much. Okay. That evening, I guess this is the next evening after the mall chase. That evening, Jake and Elwood find Murph and the Magic Tones playing at a Holiday Inn hotel lounge. Whom makes up the keyboardist, lead vocalist Murphy Doone, guitarist Steve Cropper, guitarist Donald Duck Dunn, drummer Willie Hall, and the sax player Tom Bones Malone. During drinks, they agree to rejoin the Blues Brothers band, but demand the money Jake and Elwood owes them from past gigs. So yeah,
Uh,
this is an interesting one a little bit. Kind of reminds me of, have you ever seen those heist recruitment movies?
I don't think I have now.
I think like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, like Deadpool 2 does this a little bit too. Where they're just getting all the people together and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's usually done in like one monologue scene, but this is more over the amount of times. I did have an interesting thing because they were talking about no, that's a little bit later. That's a little bit later. But yeah, interesting to see all of them. They don't look like they're having two because I noticed they're playing to like six or like maybe three people in that crowd. It was really low, like barely anyone. I think there was a couple seated and like two people at the bar, and that was it.
You may be right. It doesn't hurt to think, or I should have took note of. But this scene I liked. I liked how immediately as he saw Belushi, he like, I thought you had 5 years. Just that was the first. Glad that was the first thing that came out of his mouth.
Wait,
And
that's the other one. That's the next scene, I think, right?
oh, is it? I thought we were talking about
No, we're
the.
talking about at the hotel first.
Ooh, okay. We're not
Yeah.
on the hotel then, because I can't remember anything from it. Mm.
Right. Okay. And then they go to the Swazi Ches Paul restaurant,
Yeah,
where
okay. Mhm.
that's where the ones you were talking about, where another band member, former trumpet player Helen Mr. Fabulous Rubin is the maitre d'. The brothers behave very offensively while eating a meal, tossing food and offering to buy women, promising that they'll be back to eat lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day at this restaurant until he joins them. Mr. Fabulous reluctantly agrees. This scene was crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like I was saying, I just so many aspects of it that you could tell throughout the entire movie. They go, or not throughout this entire scene. They're trying their absolute damnedest to get this man to rejoin their band, and they're gonna do whatever it takes until you say yes.
Yeah, they were going to ruin everyone's day for so long. Like if they would have stayed, they would have had to get kicked out the way that they were acting. They were biased, they were acting, they took something off someone else's plate. They looked crazy. Plus they were ordering like way beyond their means too, I believe.
And also, I should note, Paul Rubens is in here, and I completely forgot he was there, and that's no connection there. Is I believe he auditioned for the show during the infamous 6th season of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is right.
yeah, and yeah, I just wanted to point out Paul is there, and I do have one note of like the guy behind Belushi who wanted him out. He wanted him out mainly just because he sounds offensive smelling.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought,
I was thinking about up to this point how they must have smelled, and it must have been
yeah, I feel this is a very funny description there that that I really enjoyed.
yeah. I thought they must have smelled.
Problem was much more serious than I'd ever imagined.
Okay. Anyways, let's get to the next one. So they convince him to join. Oof. This one's a little darker than I expected, but the next day, well, tooling around the Bluesmobile, they get stuck in a traffic jam. And son of a bitch, neo-Nazis are protesting on the Stone Bridge, proclaiming, I hate Illinois Nazis, which obviously Elwood uses the Bluesmobile to force the Nazis to jump off a bridge. Humiliated, the lead, played by Henry Gibson, vows to find them and brutally kill them, further adding to the Blues Brothers' ever-growing list of enemies. Yeah, this was a lot, a bit more serious than I thought it would get, but yeah. I did write, unfortunately, just like in real life, they had infiltrated the cops because they had like a lot more information than you might think at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought the scene was very, very silly just because it's just so out of nowhere. Just we're gonna go from this scene to this scene, this scene to out of nowhere. Oh, you have these Nazi people coming in, and I really loved the crowd just like absolutely raining at them. Just
They should be. They should be.
raining at them, and like just the way they're going, yeah, like I only like very people just.
It makes sense, especially when you think about. I'm thinking about one thing now and one thing I thought about at the time. One thing I'm thinking about now. This was 1980. If you're in 1980, if you're like an older person, you fought in World War II. Like you actually went there in like your teen years or your early 20s and like actually legitimately, like you might have been at D-Day if you're an older person in the 1980s. And then if you're just like a regular, like 30 or 20 something, that was your father. And then on top of that, something I thought about back then, I mean, when I was watching it, there's a fairly large Jewish community in Chicago. So they would definitely pull up and protest them protesting. Like it would cause a media problem. So it makes sense how upset they would be.
Yeah, and like the scene is another scene that I don't have a whole lot to say, rather because I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah,
but,
it's a bit much.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
I did like I forget exactly what one of them said, but he had like a funny line delivery at the end. I think something about like, "Oh, I'll get those two," and I just thought the line delivery that was amusing. I forget exactly what the line was itself, but the line I liked it again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get going. Jake and Elwood arrive in a seedy area of Maxwell Street where they park their car and can see John Lee, hooker, as he plays outside of his soul food restaurant. Inside the restaurant, the brothers meet Matt Guitar Murphy, as well as Blue Lou Marini, and ask them to rejoin the band. Matt's wife, played by Aretha Franklin, sings Think, warning Matt to think about it before he leaves the restaurant that they own together. Matt and Lou quit, and the band is complete. This was a lot to think about with this one, because first of all, such a small thing, but I noticed when they were talking about the food at different prisons, which leads me to believe they must have been. How many times has these niggas gone to prison? It's like, I know this one, and then the food there tastes worse than that. Well, that's not that good, but that tastes worse than that. And it's like, have they been to every prison in the state of Illinois?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on that they all know all the foods and all the my.
Yeah, I guess that's something that I wish they kind of went like a deeper dive into. That
Yes.
fun. Just kind of like reminiscing just that time when those years I was in jail. But yeah, a very
There's so much hidden lore behind this because this band has clearly been through like a lot of shit together. And we
for
don't even
sure.
know how old they are for real. Like they might have been talking about like
Oh yeah,
going back to their teen years when they were going to juvie at these places. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then
do
another
you
thing.
know?
Well, you go
Did they
first.
reveal that? Oh, I was
I
just saying, did they reveal their age or any of their ages in
don't
this?
think they did. No,
Oh wow.
no,
I guess I feel like they're probably like 30s, somewhere in the 30s for sure.
somewhere
Uh,
in their 30s. Well, he was. Wait. Well, people did get married earlier back then. I was gonna say he might have been in his 40s. Matt
mm,
Murphy. But then again, people got married earlier back then, so I don't know. I don't know what age they were. I wouldn't be able to tell.
yeah,
What
and
was the other
this
thing I was
scene
going to say?
is very iconic. We have Aretha singing probably one of the famous song, I guess.
I don't know if it's the edit or it's just her. It seems like she bursts into that song so fast and immediately.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she, like
you can
it's
hear
like
it.
they're just mid conversation, and then she starts singing her complete with the fullest intensity.
Yeah, and with all respect to the people there, it was like extremely noticeable here than how it was for the other musical numbers, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Hmm.
And she still very fun. She sings this wonderful, iconic song. And was this? It probably was, but was the song already like out there, or was this the intro to of the song from this movie? Do you know?
No. This came way before, like way before. She didn't. She dropped this in 1968. This movie comes out in 1980.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, she ate this up. It's one of the only ones where I'm like, this isn't a musical aside. This character, just in the context of this movie, saying this to you for real. And
Yeah,
she's saying it, she went so hard with it that I'm like, that the fact that you would leave her after this is crazy. Like she sang like this was a live concert almost. She went hard as fuck for this song and crushed it.
yeah.
And it's like, damn, you're gonna leave her this isn't another thing I noticed. She doesn't sing like a couple of verses. She sings the whole song, three verses and the bridge, like top to bottom. Damn, that shit was good, man.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, it's Aretha Franklin, like you
Yeah.
kind of have to.
I mean,
And
she's that dude for a reason, man.
yeah,
That's why she
exactly,
was one of
exactly.
the greatest.
Yeah, and her performance even before the song, I thought was amazing. Like she
It was
performed.
pretty good acting too, yeah.
Yeah, it was great acting, and yeah,
Yeah, but somehow he leaves her after all that. Meanwhile, the mystery woman is hounding Jake and Elwood and is revealing to work and own a local beauty salon. Oh, I couldn't tell that she owned it. I thought she just worked there, huh? After the salon closes at night, she reads up on a book of how to operate a flamethrower. One thing about me, I love when there's flamethrowers in anything. I loved it in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I loved it when it was in Atlanta. Flamethrowers are so rare and cool of a weapon to me, and the fact that this got to use one, like, damn, that shit was hard, man. I love a flamethrower. It's so cool. It's so overkill violent too. It's like no one would ever need this. At least with a rocket launcher, you can take down a building. A flamethrower is like something out of the Bible. It's so it's so intense. Like I love a flamethrower in a movie, man.
yeah, it's very badass, really.
Yes. Yes. Oh
And
my
also,
God.
right before she does that, she's painting her nails, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but kind
Mhm.
of detail of her painting all but like one nail and just like leaving it. She didn't
Yeah.
even. And again, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way, it tickled me.
She was a
And
little bit off, I think,
yeah, and yeah, she throws a flamethrower and kaboom! Like everything's out, and uh, just so much to it that is just a lot, and I really like it. I really like it. Yeah,
I
and
really like.
and
Yeah.
Carrie's performance here is just another like awesome performance from an awesome person in this movie. Just yeah,
You're talking about Carrie's performance?
yeah. Like just
Yeah.
even though she's like again not talking at all, just yeah,
Yeah. From that, it is the small intricacies like that where you can tell someone's a really good actress or actor. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we move on. The next morning, the band first stop is to Ray's Music Exchange in Calumet City. See, another one. They're just dropping little places around Illinois. Proprietor Ray Charles, shows off some action on the keyboard singing Shake a Tail Feather. And even though they already need $5,000, they buy $1,400 worth of instruments on an IOU, and they still owe the band money. These are some very these are two wild and financially irresponsible guys.
yeah. Because I guess they're like so confident in this whole thing that they're like we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If we have to spend more money, we'll do it. But we'll figure out a plan to get the right amount of money that we need.
They do say, I think at this point and plenty other points in the movie, we're on a mission from God. We're clearly not going to fumble this because they just think that that's enough to kill. I mean, clearly they never heard faith is nothing without works.
And I forgot how many times they actually do be saying we're on a mission from God because you're only familiar with that one scene when they say it, but they say it like throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And, like no wonder it's a very famous line from it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was on the poster, I think. It was on the poster, I believe. I might put it in the thumbnail. We'll see. They do make a few fun little jokes about Ray Charles and like I don't know if this is ableist or not, but I know they do a lot of fun little things with blind characters back in the day. Little silly jokes like that. I don't know. You'd have to ask one of them how they feel about it. So I
think
I don't know.
Ray's really
I don't know if it's wrong or right, but I just noticed it. It's meant to be funny, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think just for Ray, it's not really anything because I'm sure P is fine with it because I definitely feel if he wasn't, they would have put this in there. They would just probably
You're right. Because his people would have definitely at least done something about it.
Probably honestly, if he didn't allow that, probably just having this like one scene and then we don't see him again because that's usually
a good point. You're right because we see him later in the movie again.
Yeah, and literally all he does in later scenes is be that blind guy making the blind jokes and not really anything else important. So yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'd assume his people would have cut something if it was too out of pocket for them. But yeah, we'll I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, while driving aimlessly in that evening, the Blues Brothers. This is the most memorable scene for me. I never forget this song. The Blues Brothers' first gig is at Bob's Country Bunker, where the good old boys are scheduled to play, passing themselves off as the good old boys. Somehow, the Blues Brothers manage to play both types of music, country and Western. Because famously, those are the only two types of music in the world. They earn $200, but drink $300 worth of beer. They skip out on paying. Now Jake and Elwood have another set of enemies. That of the bar owner, played by Jeff Morris, aka Bob, and Tucker Elroy, played by Charles Napier, and the lead singer of the late arriving Good Old Boys. This scene always speaks to me because I can never not forget the song Rawhide. I don't know what it is about this. Ride him in, hold him down, ride him in, take him out, hold him in, ride him in, rawhide.
And I absolutely love how Dan sings that too. He always goes like very deep for like rawhide. And good singing from Dan too. Like he really hits that bass note.
He does. I will say they needed that chicken wire way more than you would have ever thought. I swear they must have thrown over 200 bottles in this scene.
Yeah.
They threw an insane. There's no way they did that all. They had to have like came in and swept like several times with the extra throwing bottles because
No, like no way. No
It's
way.
insane the amount of. I'm not even sure a bar would have this many bottles. The amount of bottles they threw. They were throwing bottle. It's just every scene. Like, I mean, every shot. I can count almost 5 or 6 bottles thrown at them. Every shot, not every scene. Every shot. It's like just boom, crack, thrown, 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 thrown. Like, man, oh man, I don't know how they did that,
It's
but
one of these scenes where you have to like wonder like how much did this cost? Like what was the budget? Like
I don't think it's that much to get little glass bottles, but I think when you're getting them on that much of a scale, I think the cleanup must have been insane for this.
oh, 100%. And I really love the name of the other band, the Good Old Boys, because
Good old boys.
I got and the way you're saying that right now, it seems like something like if like SNL was going to make a sketch about that right now, it seems so Andrew Dismuke. It's like, hello, I'm part of the Good Old Boys.
Yeah,
And,
dude. If James and Andrew pulled up as we're the good old boys, we came to play at this country bar.
yeah, it'd be great. And
You know what it
only
is? I think
funny,
Lake Beach was actually written by the good old boys. My favorite.
exactly. And something else I was gonna say about this. Oh, you already kind of mentioned it. How, like they mentioned the only two music genres is
Country and Western.
country
There's
and
never been, no, there's no, to them, that's another thing, like we were saying, in this part of Illinois, it's like, because there's parts of Illinois that are basically Kentucky.
Mm,
And you don't think about that as much because you think it's like Chicago, and then you think it's like Indiana and Iowa. But no, there's parts that are like way more Missouri, Kentucky than you would think it is in Illinois. But no, those places border it too. It's like you're in there. So this must have been down by Kentucky, I'm guessing.
100%.
Yeah, man, it's what a place and what a time. Anyways, they get away when a pursuing truck is T-boned by a state trooper, Mount and Daniel, who have spotted the Bluesmobile. Daniel and Mount place Bob, Tucker, and the good old boys under arrest for speeding and damaging their police car as Mount deadpans, "You boys are in big trouble." Yeah.
Great voice there. Great voice there.
Yeah, what the plots failed to mention wasn't this where they were shooting at the car out of their thing? Or was that later? I think they were shooting at Jake and
I
Elwood.
believe you're right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They have like, was it a rifle or a shotgun?
I believe a rifle.
Yeah. So they're like pissed at them.
Yeah, this is such a jam-packed movie that I couldn't pay attention to every single detail, even though I
I
really
know.
wish I did. Yeah,
You could watch this 4 or 5 times and still be finding new stuff. It's just
right.
so crazy, all the stuff that happened in this joint.
Yeah.
Um, anyways,
Yeah, so if anyone listening, if we miss out something, please let us know. So
totally. The next day in the sauna, Jake and Elwood have a business meeting with their promoter booker, Maurice Line, played by Steve Lawrence, who agrees to book the Palace Hotel ballroom for them tomorrow night. And I think I figured it out immediately that this was not going to go well for them.
yeah.
Because these are people with hella ops, and they're going to play a super public venue.
Exactly. And
Like, you're
really
asking for it.
exactly, and really nothing goes extremely amazing for them, but they always try to find a way to make it seem better, and it makes you really appreciate them, how they're always so committed and always so willing and ready to do whatever it takes for them to succeed and get what they want, even if it involves people almost killing them, people throwing beer balls at them or
Yeah.
whatever balls at them. Just they
Seems crazy, yeah.
they're taking anything.
Yeah, dude. And they also have their sauna and hat on, and this, hats and shades on in the sauna. And the whole band is just there in the background a little bit, but they only show them like at the last shots.
Yeah, and for some reason that shot like cracked me up. I have no idea why.
Also, I'm trying to figure out how much is it to get 8 people in a sauna? They already don't have hardly no money, and now you're just like, I'm gonna buy a sauna spot for me, my brother, him, and him. I'm like, okay, that'll be $600, please, or something like that.
Yeah, just have everyone come in here. Yeah, we'll figure out
We'll
the money.
figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way they paid for
Or
that
in the
sauna fair
sauna.
anywhere. There's no, unless the promoter owns the sauna, there's no way they could pay for that sauna to get all of them in there. Okay, so then we get to the big promotion scene. And this is a big promotion scene. The word gets out on the streets that they're going to be at the Palace Hotel. Jake and Elwood swipe an enormous air raid siren, strap it to the roof of the Bluesmobile. I don't know if the science on this makes any sense. They took it from like the top of a radio tower or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the technological expertise to get that together to work on top of their car. But
Yeah,
anyways, they put it on the roof of the Bluesmobile and use it as a loudspeaker to make announcements throughout the city about the
yeah,
concert.
and they go to like various different places. Like they go to, I believe, like a beach, like with a bunch of
They
ladies.
drive through the beach, they drive through the black neighborhood, they drive through the country, they drive through the woods where no one's at, but they're still announcing it at one point.
It's like, hey, some sort of like homeless man creeping around. You want to join this?
they're in some very interesting places, but they try to get all the people to go. I wonder how long this took. These must have not been too far apart. But yeah, they start doing all that, and eventually they run out of gas. The
Yeah,
local gas station is also out of gas, and then he flirts with this girl, aka Twiggy. I wonder if Twiggy was like famous back then. And they're waiting for a tanker truck to arrive.
The name Twiggy does sound familiar, so perhaps.
Oh, apparently she was. No, she is. She still is famous. She's still alive. 76 years old.
Oh, okay, well. Oh,
Yeah.
and English. All right, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, this was an interesting scene. They had a lot. They got to. I just don't know how far apart this was. I'm guessing the lake is like by Lake Michigan, sort of. Given the geography of Illinois, but these other areas, I'm like, did they go like border to border? Were they like all the way Iowa to Indiana? Like they were going what seemed like a bunch of areas.
Yeah, this is like another scene where I probably have to be familiar with Illinois as a whole to maybe make
You're right.
some
You're
sense. But I mean, if I would guess, you're probably right. 'Cause that will make the most sense, unless
Yeah.
maybe they.
The only thing I'm trying to figure out is what the time of it all. Yeah, I think the time of it all gets messy because like I think they only had like 12 hours. There's no way you can drive all over the state in 12 hours. They must have been like far up north anyways. So maybe they were going to, I think they said at one point they went to Naperville, which I know is north of Chicago. Shout out Candace Parker. That's where she's from, I think. So yeah, it's all over the place where they're going, but eventually they're like, all right, we've gone to this town, this town, this town. Let's get to the gig. So maybe they didn't go that far if they only visited like 3 or 4 towns.
Yeah, if they did like that, which they did, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So after this, the Bruise Brothers get to the hotel. They play their concert, beginning with Curtis opening as the act sings Minnie the Moocher, right? Because obviously Cab Calloway's super famous to have done all that stuff to get to this thing. Yeah. I think that might be his original song.
It sounds original. I'll listen to it. Like it does sound like something that.
Yeah, it's his original song.
Yeah.
It's his original from way back in the 1931.
is there any original song like strictly like that were made like for this movie that you know?
I don't
mean,
think there was. I think these are just people singing their own songs. And no,
which makes sense. I mean, you're
it
not gonna,
might be the songs that they sing, the one at the concert. I don't know.
yeah, and again, this makes sense because this whole movie is a jazz or a blues tribute, and makes sense that you want to make a new song in a movie really celebrating blues music,
Especially when you have all these legends
right?
out there, dude.
Exactly.
Like,
You know,
just
that
give
would
them
be,
their own thing and let them ride.
that'd be very cool and very like incredible if like like Aretha wanted to make this new song strictly just for this movie, or Ray Charles or James Brown, like all the people. If they did make an original song for this movie, that'd be amazing. Like,
That would
absolutely.
have been amazing. That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did in the second one. We'll see when we get to that one.
I would guess
Anyway.
probably not, but we'll see.
We'll see. Having heard about the concert, this is where I was saying, all of their ops show up. The police show up. Jake's parole officer shows up. They stake the joint. They got everything and everyone in here. Bob, the good old boys, they also made bail. They also came to the concert, and they're all trying to kill Jake and Elwood. This was we'll discuss the actual music after we come back, but this was a wild scene just because. And another thing, because I've done like extras work in Atlanta, if they did this now, it would be block shooting. They would have like 20 people in a square, and then they'd move them around and they'd CGI it. This, I'm certain they literally had that many people there.
Probably, yeah, because
They had that theater packed out.
this only like filmed in 1980, probably filmed in 79.
They filmed in 79, yeah.
Technology isn't the greatest thing in the world as it is right now. And who says this? We didn't even mention this. Oh yeah, we're filming this on the very first day of the new year. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy New Year to all y'all. So,
Yeah, we said that already. Happy New Year anyway. So, but I was thinking about this. This is weird.
Biggest thing. I understand, like, yeah, technology wasn't the biggest thing at
Not
this
at
time.
all.
But yeah, they had to have done it because
They had to. I mean, you can do some things with like masking back then, but still, you had to still have like way more people than you would have now. I will say though, with the amount of people being here and the amount of cops here, they have a lot of big guns and no one is scared. And no one is freaking, like, they have their rifles and shotguns like drawn at Jake and Elwood, and no one is like, oh my God. I mean, I know it's rough in Chicago, but like
they seen worse.
I don't know if they've seen that. They have big ass guns pointed like all over the place, and it's like, we need to get out of here. Like, if a stray bullet goes off, that's my ass. That's what I would be thinking. I don't know.
Like you said, Chicago. So again, they probably seen worse.
Maybe, but they're talking some crazy. They're not scared at all for this.
Nope.
So, anyways, everyone also says, oh, I want to talk about the sneaking too. There's a lot of interesting sneaking for them to even get into this thing. They got to sneak around and they go through the back door. Another thing I thought of, the head bouncer guy, he says, the guy who owns it or whatever, he says, I was a bouncer here back in the 70s. This movie is set in 1980. You were a bouncer last year? The fuck? I think they must have flubbed that line. He probably should have said back in the 60s or the 50s. But back in the 70s, that's like me saying I was a bouncer here back in the 2010s if I said that in 2020. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, maybe that was intentional because I guess I just tried.
It might have been a joke. It might have been a joke.
Yeah,
Sure.
a joke there. Which there was a good joke there. I like it.
Yeah, it works. It works as a joke, but I thought it might have been real, and I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't even make sense. After all of that, them trying to kill them, all the crazy old stuff, and the Good Old Boys, all their ops are basically here. Jake and Elwood sneak past the cops to join the band, as we were saying. Sneak in the back door with both the bouncer, as they said. As we said, the crowd is unmoved at first, but are soon like heavily cheering. Like, this is how I could tell there was a hell of a lot of people here. The band also plays so well that backstage, a producer for a major record company just straight up offers them $10,000 cash and as an advance on their first recording session. Jake and Elwood accept an offer to keep the $5,000, asking the producer to send the debt to Ray's Music Exchange for all the instruments and give the rest to the band. The brothers take off through the trapdoor and the stage while the band continues vamping.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's another scene where there's a lot to it. There's a lot to this entire.
Who is there ever?
There's this entire movie that, and going to what you were saying about how there's there was a lot of people in the audience, it kind of makes me wonder, like, do they really just like audition like that many people, or was it kind of point where it's like, hey, you want to be in a movie? Sure, but we'll pay you however many, and people just agreed to it? Because
typically with stuff like that, because like I said, I do extras work in Atlanta. I've been in a few things, and my grandmother used to do it like before this movie, because my grandparents were both out in LA from the 60s all the way till the mid 2000s. She said when she used to do this, they would just, I think she said they just have a newspaper ad or a call or something. And yeah,
makes sense.
With me, it's just right now, you just sign up for a thing. They send you text and then you say yes to it for the available. And then they say, well, now you can't actually do it. So I'd imagine it's the same for them with calls. They just put out a newspaper and then you put your name in and then they're like, okay, we'll call you for this date if we want you. And if we don't, then we won't. So I guess that's how they did it in 78 and 79 when they got this, but they must have called a lot of people. Like, this was an enormous crowd. Speaking of a big thing, they crushed this song. Like, I was really feeling it. Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, originally by Solomon Burke from his 1964, I think it was his 1964 single from Burke back in the day. So they came back there, they sang it, they crushed it. Felt really good. And this money scene, I think nothing can fully redeem them at this point. But
yeah, for sure.
This kind of makes you take a little bit off of it because it's like, well, they did pay back most of their debts. They are gonna give the money to the orphanage. They do pretty much the right thing because, like, they could have just said $10,000. Hell yeah, we're leaving. But no, they kind of did the right thing. They gave the money to the band. They gave the money to Ray. They're gonna pay off the orphanage tax estate debt. So it's like, well, they're not good, but they do have a good heart. They're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, because again, like you said, this entire thing is for the orphanage, and even though they might always make the most positive decisions, they still do them, and they're never really evil, I would say. Like,
no, they're not evil. They just make. I think they're just like dumb
choices.
They don't make the smartest decisions, I think.
Yeah, like I was saying, like they do what they have to do to get where they have to get, and which is understandable. And and their selflessness makes it seem like they're not that bad, is right, you know. And this scene as a whole, being honest, kind of my least favorite, not part, at least not of the movie, but like my least favorite, like epic scene, and I'm not entirely sure why, just because like watching it, I really had nothing of note, and again, not sure why, but like something about this just I didn't fully love, but
you're talking about this scene, right, with the music? Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, sorry. sorry, forget everything I said. I'm talking about another scene that we're gonna talk about next.
Okay. Yeah, it's
But
it's
the
a
music here,
fun.
I did like it. It was a very fun song, but I also didn't really have a whole lot to say about it. But fun song, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun stuff. It was a good stuff. Okay, so then after this, oh, so as they're escaping, they escape everything. The mystery woman confronts them in the underground tunnel. She's got the M16. Also, at some point, she shot the flamethrower at them. It doesn't say in the plot, but that was so wicked, dude. I love that. Anyways, the mystery woman confronts them in the underground tunnel with the M16. She is shooting like a madwoman, misses them on every shot. Like crazy that this all that that she didn't hit a single thing. And we find out the whole lore of why she is mad at them, why she is trying to kill them.
And real quick,
Apparently,
and real quick, just her missing all of the shots is very funny, especially again for this this mysterious woman who's supposed to be like so excellent. Her missing all of them
yeah.
is a part of it that I really enjoy.
I think it's funny that Princess Leia shoots like a stormtrooper.
Yep.
Star Wars fans will really appreciate that one. It's revealed that she was Jake's former fiance, whom he abandoned at the wedding several years ago, and she wants to personally kill Jake for the humiliation. And then it's crazy that these two would even be together, but I guess.
Oh man, opposites attract, man. That's science, bro.
Like magnets, for example.
Yeah,
Top-notch stuff there.
top-notch stuff. But they tell so much. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that it is interesting they would be together, but kind of funny in a way because actually no, it's funny that they would be together, but interesting. But to me, as it does seem like what's the phrase? Like people like different like personalities match. I forget like what that term is. Opposites attract. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I just played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then it felt like he said so many excuses. He only says,
Yes,
I think, 9 excuses. It felt like 10,000. He just says 9. He's like, Locust, a terrible flood. My car broke down. I ran out of gas. I didn't have money for cab.
Right.
It's one of the most famous scenes because he's pulling shit out of his ass.
Yeah.
And
Is it in this like scenario that he's in is like amazing that he even managed to even say anything.
I know. And then he takes off the sunglasses the only time.
Yep. Yeah. I did want to talk. Made like a note of that. One scene with Elwood where he's in glasses,
Right?
And I was kind of like, like, are we gonna see like that either Elwood or Jake again, like without the sunglasses? And here we are. We have
this is the only one.
Yeah,
they have the sunglasses on. I think the rest of the thing. And what's the other crazy part of this is it completely works. She's just like, after all of this, she's like, oh, Jake, oh, Jakey. Like, how wrapped around his finger does she have to be?
Have to be like so hard hitting.
She must be insanely mesmerized to still be like, you know what? I've been chasing these guys for so long, and I've bought all these weapons, and I've tried to kill them. All this man has to do is take off his sunglasses and hit me with the puppy dog eyes, and I'm right back to in love with him. Yeah, after all the pain he's caused me and my family, I'm just like, you know what? That's enough. Yeah, and then he does it again and drops her in the sewage.
Yeah. That was my favorite part. Just like suddenly like he has her, and then just
let's go.
Great scene there.
That's why I was saying in the part before. Yes, it's good that they gave the people the money that they were supposed to give the money, but they're not good. like, like these guys are not. They're messed up still, even though they are trying to do the right thing in some scenarios.
Yeah, very, very. I guess
Like,
that's what
dude.
happens when you're in jail, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a super wild one. Anyways, they just drop her and say, "Let's go." She melts and just that's all they do. Anyways, this next scene is when things start to get really, really crazy. The police begin realizing that the brothers are making an escape. Jake and Elwood are in the Bluesmobile with 106 miles to get to Chicago, a full tank of gas, a half a pack of cigarettes at night, and they're wearing sunglasses.
Hit it.
Hit it. An epic climactic car chase. First of all, they drive through this means they drove all night. They drove all night through the early parts of the morning. Just they're from like what 11 at night to like they drive till the sun comes up, so they must drive till like 6, 7 in the morning.
Right.
Just all night. An epic climactic car chase begins, and the Blues Brothers head towards Chicago to pay the taxes. Bob, Tucker, and the good old boys join the chase, but Elwood has earlier sabotaged the trailer, putting glue on the gas pedal, which causes the truck to lose control of the trailer and crash into the nearby pond. That, I'm just thinking about it. It reminds me of the first movie we did, where dude is going on the zip line upside down, and he crashes into the wooden barn. This is the same as that, where they crash with their RV.
Yeah, and that is Grown-Ups for anyone wondering, in case this
from Grown-Ups from episode 1.
Yeah, go to episode 1 before you go here. Don't have this be the first episode you watch.
Yes. Okay, but this is when things start to get really, really crazy.
But yeah, and this is what I meant to say earlier, of how like I appreciate the scene, but it didn't fully click for me until other people started like helping them and like having them like come together. And I'm not entirely sure why, but I just felt there were more epic scenes that we discussed earlier that I like way more than this one. But not bad.
Not bad. I will say, at some point, because like Elwood is flirting with the British girl played by Twiggy, it doesn't look like it's working. He says, "Meet me at a hotel later." Apparently, she did meet him at the hotel, and she got stood up, as the Blues Brothers are apparently famous for doing, as we know with Mystery Woman. She's like at the hotel, like, "Damn it, where's Elwood?" Like pissed off.
Yeah,
like she really thought this was going to happen.
The strangest riz anyone could have.
I don't know how. That must be his game, man.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Somehow works, and I want to know how.
Yeah, so spit us some of that, man. Write a book about that so we can use it. Anyways, so they get there. Yeah, they hit the thing. They crash into the trailer, into the pond, and everything. They crash through like a barn and go into a pond. That's what happened, I think. And then in the morning, because again, they're driving like a long time, like 108 miles all night at like 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night to 6 or 7 in the morning. So in the morning, numerous cops' cars tumble off an embankment, and one driven by the state troopers are just crashed into the back trailer of an 18-wheeler. We're in a truck.
Yeah, and like to what you were saying earlier of how, again, it's clearly almost already morning for them doing that. That is wild. Absolutely wild. Having a 6 hour, maybe more, or
6 hour all night drive.
Yeah.
Like an all night. Also, I'm not even sure if this makes sense for where they were going, because I'm like, I guess if you're at the very, very bottom of the state, it would take that long. I'm thinking of all the longer drives that I've been involved in. I know we've driven like like we left like late morning and got to Las Vegas at night when my family was in LA. I know we've driven from like Alabama to Houston. I don't know if that took 2 days or one day.
Mm.
I'm just trying to think if it would take that long to drive from any two different parts in the same state of Illinois.
Yeah, the only thing I could really think of is maybe they were trying to so hard to avoid the police that they were just taking these craziest shortcuts that end up
Oh, you're right. They're
have
right.
in a like
They're
different.
they're not taking the what would that be, the 55 or something? They're driving off all the side streets, going around corners, driving through neighborhoods.
Yeah,
I
I do
guess that
like
makes
the
sense.
classic all the cars piling on top of each other. I see that in so many
Oh, there
movies.
was a lot of that actually. In fact, wait, let me keep reading the scene. Let me keep going.
Yeah, you go
As
ahead.
they approach the city, all city police authorities are alerted, and the use of excessive force is approved in their apprehension. The chase continues in Chicago, reaching speeds of 110 miles per hour on Lower Wacker Drive. Dozens of cars pile up. Hearing the police radios, the Nazis spot the Bluesmobile and give chase. The Bluesmobile stops at the edge of the highway overpass under construction. But the car with the lead Nazi tumbles over the end. I wanted that to explode, by the way. Jake and Elwood arrive at Dali Plaza just in time as the car literally falls apart. This scene was insane, and I do believe, I don't know if it still holds, but this was for a long time the record for most totaled cars in a movie.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that too,
Yeah.
and it makes sense.
It makes way too much sense. Like this,
Yeah.
I don't even
And
know how many cars they went through. It must have been insane. They're
and I
crashing, they're piling up. It's everywhere. They're coming. It looks like a video game almost.
yeah, and if there's any scene to look at and be like, what was like the budget or how much did stuff cost? It's this scene right here,
Big time.
and I don't think any movie, to my knowledge at least, could really top this. Or
I
did
think
top
it said 25 million is what it was.
Ooh,
But
wow.
I'm like, how much did 25 million get you in 1980 for them to be able to afford? It was 27.5 million. And I'm like, this is an insane amount of stuff going on for they have so much stuff. They have a tank at one point. They have a tank at one point. They have all the military cars.
Mhm.
I will say another thing, though. I'm glad that they won that chase. Impossible car reverse physics.
Yeah,
They reverse and the car flips over backwards without them hitting anything. It's like it's. I don't.
it's great
I
stuff.
don't
There.
know how anything would make this ever happen. Like you'd have to have the freaking Inspector Gadget car for this to even kind of work. Oh my gosh.
It's amazing, and this is another scene where like me and Johnny, like us discussing it doesn't do this justice. Like you have to see it yourself to like truly get the
Yeah,
vision.
dude, this
Yeah,
this was like,
just hearing
to
two
put
dudes
it
talking about it isn't worth it. You have to see it yourself.
to put it in terms some people may understand. It's like the Avengers Endgame scene, but for 1980. Like the end scene where all of them are battling. This is that, but in 1980. It was that insane of a scene. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah,
And it's one of those,
Impossible
and it's
fall
one of
apart.
those scenes where like you just have to wonder like what was people's reaction to this like in real time, like when it first came out.
Oh
Like,
I can only imagine seeing this when it first came out. You're like, they must.
wow.
I'm not even sure people had even seen that many cars get wrecked at that point because
Yeah.
you don't have the internet at this time. You're just
Yeah,
like,
that's what I kind of
this is
wonder.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Impossible car fall apart mechanics too. And I was like, yeah, it definitely broke the record. Anyways, we get to, I believe this is the penultimate scene. They get to the build up, the police build up continues absurdly. The National Guard has come in. helicopters have come in, the SWAT team has come in, and I'm like, this is, remember, this is just two unarmed guys with traffic tickets. Unless Jake has like, realistically, Jake would have to have like a lot of
Yeah.
violent crimes on his record for them to pursue him this viciously.
Yeah.
And then Elwood's only wanted for traffic violations.
Yeah.
Like they are
That's
pursuing
for
these
that.
guys like they're freaking Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, and those traffic tickets are enough for Elwood to consider him a criminal.
Enough to bring the National Guard and the SWAT team.
Just it's that bad. You got to bring everybody in here. Just
They brought
Yeah.
everything. I don't know.
yeah, they did everything, and everyone came to them.
Oh my, yeah, they did. I mean, you
Yep.
know what it might be? Because they wrecked the mall, they were like, well, anyone
Yeah.
violent enough to wreck this mall would require the National Guard and the SWAT team to come after them. Because this is clearly millions of dollars of property damage.
Yeah, and I completely get that.
I guess that makes sense now that I think about it together.
Yeah.
Anyways, they get in there, they start barricading the door with like everything you can think of. They get chairs, they get benches. I think they get they knock over vending machines. They're doing everything to barricade this door. Obviously, they bring the fire department with the axe. I thought they'd have to bring the battering ram because I think they still do that. But anyways, they bar the door, they sabotage the elevator, they run up the stairs. Eventually, everyone gets in. Another thing I thought was so crazy, how much time they had to do all that, and then they also have to wait 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah. And there's like one scene where it's like a guy just being held back, and there's a sign right next to him that says "back in 5 minutes."
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's my favorite part of this narrative. Back in 5 minutes. Like, hold on.
Back
Like,
in
hold on.
5
Like, you wait here while we're doing all this. Okay. I can like now you
Oh
come back.
my gosh, it's insane that they actually were able to make this work. Anyways, after all of that, but speaking of which, Steven Spielberg apparently is the clerk in this, of all
Mm.
people. They give him the money, they pay the taxes, and like literally as soon as the last scribble of the cursive is signed for the name, they have 80, 90, 100 guns pointed at them. Like, again, they are you would have thought they just caught Darth Vader or something. You would have thought
Yeah.
they just caught Genghis Khan the way they put every single gun they have up at these two.
Yeah, as just to also officially say, like, hey, you guys aren't going nowhere. You've escaped all of us now, but now we officially have you. And
Oh,
again,
absolutely not. They couldn't move. I'm not even sure they could even start to run away, let alone get away from all those people. Oh my goodness. And then,
Like, honestly, like watching this, like if I just always heard of the Blues Brothers and like just going into it, I would never guess it's this type of movie.
oh yeah, I had
It's not just a
when I
simple
first
musical.
watched it many years ago, because again, this is my mom's favorite movie. I
Mhm.
didn't expect it to be this crazy. This was crazy when I first saw it, and it's just as crazy now. Like, because
Yeah.
I hadn't seen this since like I think since the turn of the decade. I saw it a couple of days ago. I'm like, this is still just as nuts as I thought it was the first time.
For sure.
Like, my God.
Like, in a way, all these scenes, I kind of want to also call this a musical comedy thriller, because I always hear just musical comedy with it, but no one ever has an epic part of it, which is very surprising because they should, but they don't.
This is a full-on action movie at some points for sure.
Right, exactly. And then no one gives it that credit that it absolutely deserves.
It should. Anyways, the film closes with the Blues Brothers and their band playing their next concert in prison, beginning with the song Jailhouse Rock. Very appropriate, kind of on the nose for in prison, but of course they play Jailhouse Rock. And also, I'm like, they had to arrest the whole band, I guess, for aiding and abetting.
Right. Even though it's really only Elwood and Jake that's been doing stuff, they just
I mean, I guess they're accomplices. I guess they didn't rat them out when they left, but I'm like, you're gonna arrest the whole band? My God. Yeah, what a hell of a movie, hell of an ending.
That's Blues Brothers, y'all.
That was Blues Brothers, and
wow.
As Victor keeps saying, you got to see this for yourself. It's hard to find on streaming right about now, but if you can find the proper channels, go ask your parents, ask your grandparents if they have a VCR or a DVD of this movie, because it is insane, the things that they pull off in this movie. And one thing, like I was saying, they literally don't make them like this anymore. They don't. You can't. You would always have CGI. You would have drone shots. You would have block shooting. They shot this whole thing on film. They would never make a movie like this again unless it was a really persnickety director, because like they don't do this even when they shoot it on film like this, it always gets converted to digital.
Yeah, and they could try, but again, it would not be as the same. And looking it up, it does seem like you could watch this movie. Unfortunately, you do have to pay, but you can watch the movie on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV. So if you have one of those, and
you got one of those, yeah,
you can pick it up there.
But again, I think one of your older relatives might have this on VCR or something.
Yeah, and of course, an iconic movie, a movie a lot of people talk about. I've seen various parodies from various different shows about it. The first parody that I've ever seen of it was from Drake and Josh, and I feel for all the probably like 20 and like early 30-year-olds out there, that's probably how they're Blues Brothers, because of that Drake and Josh episode. And
they sure did do that. I forgot they did that in Drake and Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. But a nice movie. Definitely recommend
this movie. Now, how do you think this expanded Dan and John's careers? Do you think? Because I'm trying to see how big of this was this, because I know John was kind of a star at this point.
Yeah.
Was this? Let me see. Was this before or after Coneheads?
I think this was before. Yeah, way before.
I'm trying to see where. Let me check out Dan's filmography. Okay, so Blues Brothers, I think it might be his first movie. Also, he co-wrote this thing, by the way.
Right, yeah. And John did not, but
no, John was.
Yeah, it's
this is his. He has like a bunch of small ones, and then he does Blues Brothers. So this leaps and bounds for Dan Aykroyd's film career.
Yeah.
And overall pop cultural influence, I think. Like leaps and bounds. But as for John, I kind of think he kind of hit it before this.
Yeah, because again, Animal House, just a few.
He had Animal House before this. A few other ones. Damn, he really did only do like 8 movies.
Yeah. And
I know he died young. I didn't know that he only did like 8 movies. Jeez.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, all the movies he did were Tarzan, something I have seen. I'm not gonna explain it. Look it up, because then you'll know why. Animal House, Going South, a movie he did with the one and only Jack Nicholson. Old Boyfriend, which he only has a small role in. 1941, which would be a very fun movie to cover, because that also has Dan Aykroyd as well as a bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And Continental Divide and Neighbors, his last movie. He also did Dan Aykroyd and another SNL alum, Tim Kazurinsky.
Damn, I really thought he had like a little bit longer of a run than this. My goodness, this.
Yeah.
Had John Belushi lived longer, this could have done so much for him.
Absolutely. And
my goodness, I thought he didn't die till like the mid 80s. This really got him much earlier than I thought. My goodness.
Yeah, spring of 82 is when he passed away.
Spring of 82, this comes out in 1980. Yeah, he could have had plenty more movies after this, but he only got 2. But yeah, it still did a lot for Dan's career, his pop cultural influence. I think this, obviously SNL made him famous, but I think this made him really famous.
Exactly. I completely agree. And Well,
It
yeah.
led to Trading Places, led to Ghostbusters, led to Spies Like Us, all his big hits, you know?
Yeah. And well, that's the movie there, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And please let us know how you thought of this, and if you have a recommendation, please let us know. We are going to, as long as that follows our rules, we will accept anything. And
Yeah.
who knows if you are,
As long as it is led
Yeah.
or co-led by an SNL cast member, even if they were only on 4 episodes, that's a wink to you know who.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to keep doing this. That's part of why I wanted to do it today, because you know, if you do something the first day of the year, you're going to be doing it all year. So hopefully this sets a good precedent for us to keep going through at least the first year and hopefully many more years.
And we are planning on having a few episodes, just the two of us. But once we are ready for guests to come on, and if you are comfortable joining us and you have a recommendation, we'll gladly have you. And
Totally.
And check me out at Instagram at I'm alive 00000. Talking about SNL as well as my other interests like Big Brother, Wild and Out, just various other things that I like. And you can check me out on Twitter also at I'm alive but instead of 00000, numbers are 419. And most recently, if you check me out on Twitter, you can see I did an entire mega thread featuring my favorite personal intro of every single SNL cast member. Yeah, I did out of boredom, and apparently it did get some people talking, and it was very fun. And yeah, check me out there. And I believe as it's recording, it probably will be out. So you could also check me out on Cover Wars, a podcast from our good friend Ajax, where I will be discussing covers from the song "Stressed Out" by 21 Pilots, a song that will soon turn 10 years old in 2026, and one of my all-time favorite songs, and a great year for me. So check that out, and that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Check me out. He_gentleman on Instagram, obviously here at Oversimplified Productions. If you want to be able to watch this podcast, I've also been putting some things up on my TikTok at Toxic Hoops Takes, also known as Lego Sports Ball, where I've been uploading some women's basketball stuff, kind of like the stuff on this channel, but in shorter form. And obviously, if you want to find me at Johnny Watson on Substack, if you want to get other ways to listen to this podcast, it would be under Infinite Zeitgeist. Anyways.
And we're available whatever you get podcasts. What'd you say?
Yes, we're definitely for sure available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, obviously here on YouTube. And hopefully, I think I did all my plugs. But yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks again and Happy New Year. Hopefully we can catch you again on another beautiful, wonderful episode of Not Ready for Popcorn Players podcast. Have a good night.